All right, so first project with Lovable today. Just going to start. I'm basically just walking through what they have in their documentation for training. Thought that'll be a good way to kind of kick this off. So the first thing it's asking is to add in a prompt. I'm just gonna have exactly what they had in there. I'm gonna use Whisper Flow to dictate, because I don't like to write. Here we go. Create an app that helps me track customer feedback. Make sure users can add feedback, including a description, type of feedback, and customer name. List all the feedback on the main page. Make it look sleek in light, modern colors. Added that. Added that last part for myself because I don't want to do something dark and ugly. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's spin it up and see what it comes up with. All right, so this was what it came up with. Pretty clean front end. Let's say I wanted a feature request. I want to add in a new page that tracks feedback. I don't know, whatever, I'm just putting something in. Okay, so that's cool. We added at the bottom here. And then I guess you can also filter by the type of request. Let's see if I add another one. That was a feature request. So if I added a bug, the page doesn't load. The bug doesn't load. I wouldn't say the page doesn't load. That's a bug. Oops. Oh, that's cool. Let's just say this was Dave. And then let's see if the filter works. So if I just want bug reports, does that. Okay, so that's pretty slick, pretty cool. Okay, just wanted to also quickly talk about chat mode, which is right here. So this is pretty cool. If you enable that and you ask it something, so I already gone through and done this and changed my primary colors from blue to green. So here you see I chatted and said, hey, I want to change the secondary color from blue to green. And then let's move this out of the way. And then it had gone through this whole thing of trying to understand what I was asking, walking through it and what it would need. It says this change will affect secondary buttons, progress bars, sliders, etc. And then, well, that was the first one, sorry. I had done without implementing it, but I went through the same process again. It walked through the whole plan, but without actually making the change yet. And then when it got to the end of it, I was like, okay, great, let's make the change. And then it said, I'll implement the change to update the primary color, blah, blah, blah. And then once I hit implement the plan, it went ahead and changed it from blue to green. So if you remember how it was in the previous video just before this. Another cool thing you can do is the edit mode. So I could, let's say, do customer's first name, right? If I wanted to do that. I guess I can also ask here, which is another way to do it. Then you can just make changes that way as well, which is pretty cool. And then for our more tech-savvy friends who I'm sure I don't need to tell this, obviously you can go in. Oops, let me save that. go into the code directly. Components. And mess around with the code as well, if that's your thing, not mine. And then here we have our history. Obviously, I have not published this yet either, so yeah, that's kind of where we are so far. If I wanted to rename the project, I can do that here. Customer feedback. My spelling is off today. Customer feedback. There we go. English language 101. Project is name. Alright, I guess we're gonna go customer feedback or whatever. That's fine. And then of course you can also preview this way. That opens that up in a new window. And of course, if I want to publish and go live, I can do that. But I'm not going to publish this now because it's just for play. All right. See you next time.